And you know we got it with that mic check. What's up, y'all? It's Middleman TV in the building. Hey, and here. Got a lot to talk about today in the boxing world. Been a little slow in the boxing world, Been a lot of drama, you know what I'm saying, on the outside of the ring. Um, Obviously we got a lot to talk about. Yesterday I had to cut my live short. I was a little tired. Um, and that's really where we at with it. But we're gonna get straight to it, man. So Brian Norman, pretty much letting it be known what he's been on. He's kind of been on a quiet. Brian Norman Jr. has kind of been on a quiet realm recently. Not really trying to call out anybody specifically. Just going about his business. Just doing what he's got to do as a boxer. Well, today I guess he had enough of the quietness, and he decided to come out and speak out on his opinions and what he feels and what he wants to do. And Brian Norman called out Jerron Boots Ennis once again, man. He's been calling Jerron Boots Ennis out for months. You know, Obviously this is one of those things where I think Brian Norman, I mean, obviously I think he wants to fight Boots, but I think he's also seeking a moment. Jerron just ducking Virgil Ortiz. I think that, this is a perfect opportunity for Brian Norman to, seize the moment. And if Jerron just happens to not be looking in that direction, then it would be another duck. But to me, since he's not moving up to 154, it's definitely a fight to make. Both guys are champions. I mean, hey man, I would like to see that fight. I think I said it I said it a while back, a few months ago. I said that Brian Norman versus Jerron Boots Ennis is a hell of a fight, and they should make it immediately. Um, and like I said, man, when you got a guy like Eddie Hearn, you just don't know what you're gonna get, man. I'm trying to tell y'all. This is why I've never been a fan of Eddie Hearn's promoting, because he's full of shit, man. And we've had two fights already of Jerron Boots and this on Eddie Hearn's show Matchroom, and it's been a disaster to me, in my opinion. David Avanesian and Karen are not anywhere near getting your star-studded type performances or fights that you need to be getting. Um, Brian Norman also called out Teofimo Lopez. He said he would fight him at 147. He said he would fight him at 140. He would go down, and he also said anybody at 140 can get it. So I think Brian Norman is making it evidently clear he'll fight anybody at 147. He'll fight anybody at 140. And Brian Norman is trying to make noise in the division. You know what I'm saying? And I kind of like that. You know what I'm saying? I think that the 147 division is one of the more quiet, one of the more least action-packed divisions. It's kind of gotten a little bit more traction because Boots is in it, and Boots is starting to gain his name. But I still think the 147 division is one of the weaker divisions out there. And so we gotta, Brian Norman's trying to push big time fights, man. It's nothing better than to have two black punchers in their prime fighting. I think that's a great fight. Stylistically, I think it's a good fight. You know what I'm saying? I think Boots can win that fight, but I also think Brian Norman can win that fight. It's a good fight, man. I would favor Boots, obviously. I think he's a little bit quicker. Um, but yeah, man. And I also think Brian Norman versus Teofimo is a good fight. I think that's a really, really, really good fight. I actually think that's a very dangerous fight for Teofimo because, as we saw against Claggett, I don't know how much power Teofimo is going to have at a bigger weight class. You know what I'm saying? He's got power at 140 and 135. I don't know if he's going to have power at 147. Still a good boxer, but Brian Norman might have what it takes to beat him, and he's bigger. So these are just a couple things that I'm thinking about. Now, obviously, Brian Norman, I believe, is what, the WBC, or is he the WBO champion right now? Then you got Jerron's the IBF. Obviously, Barrios has a belt. Stayonis has a belt. Like, the 147-pound division, man, I want to see all the champions fight each other. I'm not going to lie. I want to see Boots try to conquer the division, man. And why not get started with to me, might be the toughest fight out of the three guys that have the belts in Brian Norman Jr. I think that's the toughest fight out of all three of them. Let's get that thing rolling, man. I want to see that fight. I definitely want to see that fight. It's a fight to make. Um, you know, but I remember when Brian Norman and his team they were saying a whole bunch of stuff about how they didn't like the contract that was offered. So you know how that goes, man. It all sounds good, but it might not be anything like we think. And that's really it, man. Boxing's been a little slow recently, other than Jaime Munguia getting knocked out over the weekend and Siobhan Clark losing and some of the upset victories. Kind of slow. Um, I don't know what the hell just happened to my Wi-Fi, but obviously boxing's been a little bit slow pretty much this entire month. It's about to pick up next weekend, I believe. You got the Tyson Fury and Usyk rematch. So we're getting it kickstarted again. We're going to have some big time fights. I'm looking forward to that fight. You know what I'm saying? I got to be honest, though, man. The undercard is a load of crap. They definitely could have came up with a better undercard. I think this undercard is a waste of everyone's time, to be quite honest. I was excited for the Majamov and Buachuk fight, but they took that fight off of the card, man. So to me now, Buachuk's still on the card, but he's fighting a guy named Ismail Davis. I'm not excited for that fight. And that's the co-main, so it's a Riyadh card, and quite frankly, it's one of the worst Riyadh cards I've ever seen. Overall, just a terrible show, man. But I'm excited for the main event. And everyone keeps asking me how I think the main event's going to go between Alexander Usyk and Tyson Fury, man. And I honestly think it's going to go the same way. I think, Fury's going to have moments, but I just think that the trickiness and awkwardness and the shorter, smaller fighter in Usyk is going to be able to do what he wants to do against the bigger man in Fury. He's going to frustrate Fury, and he's going to have big moments of success in this fight. I know it. I just know it, man. So that's really where I'm at with it. I just think that, obviously Tyson Fury definitely has a chance being the great fighter that he once was. I think that he definitely could still maybe beat Usyk, but I think he's going to have to do what he did. I forget which rounds it was where he was unleashing his strategy, and he was doing well, and he was doing what he needed to do to win. He looked like the much bigger guy, and he looked like he was bothering Usyk in certain parts of the fight, no question about it. And he might be able to do that again. But there was times where Fury just took his foot off the gas, looked gassed. I think we could say at this stage of their careers, I think Usyk has the better motor. I think he has the better endurance. And I think all that's going to play a factor, man. I think all of that is going to play a factor, man. I'm not going to lie to y'all. The Gervonta Davis undercard is a load of crap, y'all. It's a load of crap. And it's unfortunate that we getting such a load of crap undercard, man. You know what I'm saying? Shit. Like you would think that they would have put at least one really enticing fight on the undercard, but no, not one. Not one, man. Like, damn, can't give us Boo Boo versus Charlo. Like, I can't believe the fights they're giving us, man. They're giving us fucking Tomato Head versus Charlo, man. They're giving us Puello versus Martin. Oh, the best fight on the card, other than the main event, is gonna be Ryo versus Russell, man. That's the best fight on the card. That should be the co-main too. To be honest with you, I think that will end up being the co-main, because when you really think of it's either that's gonna be the co-main, or what they're gonna do is they're probably gonna do Sander and Puello first, and then they're gonna do Stayonis first, then Puello, Sander, then they'll probably have Russell Ryo. They'll probably have Charlo in the co-main because he's still got a bigger name than both of those guys, I feel like. And then the main event will be Tank. I feel like that's what they're gonna do, but who knows? We'll see. I will be there, man, but definitely not looking forward to this show. Definitely not looking forward to it. Yeah, man. So boxing been real slow recently. You know what I'm saying? Um, Honestly, there's a lot we could talk about. Me personally, I also heard that Ryan Garcia is gonna sue Devin Haney. I don't know. I don't know how much truth there is to that. As y'all heard, Ryan Garcia suffered an injury, so he's not gonna be in that exhibition fight no more. And really, I didn't really care about that exhibition fight. So whatever. I mean, I just think that was a get active fight, stay active fight, stay on the move. Because since Ryan hasn't fought since last April, the least thing he wants to do is be rusty, gain a lot of weight, not be active. And so I just think that was a stay active fight. But with the injury, it is what it is. Maybe he overtrained. And that's really it, man. There's not too much going on in the boxing world right now, y'all. It's you know what I'm saying. Until we get this Fury Usyk fight next week, it's gonna be pretty slow. Um, you know what I'm saying. I'm excited to see a lot of people get back in action. I can't wait to see Cool Boy back in action. I wish Cool Boy and Figueroa would have been on the Tank undercard as opposed to the David Morrell one. But it is what it is, and we're just gonna have to see, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm very excited for the Shakur Floyd Schofield fight. And I think I'm not gonna lie to y'all, man. That's the most intriguing fight of 2025 so far, man. Just because I don't know what to expect exactly. I think Shakur's gonna win, but I want to see what Floyd's gonna bring in that fight. And there's a lot of other, I'm excited for the Bevel rematch. I think they're gonna rob Bevel again, man. There's a lot of things I think is gonna happen, man. But overall, I'm excited for what boxing has to come in 2025. I think we're gonna get a lot of big fights, man. Can we just be honest? With only about 2 weeks remaining in 2024, can we be honest? 2024 gave us some great fucking boxing fights, man. 2023 was a doozy, and 2024 was also a doozy, man. Boxing has given us 2 years in a row of great boxing, man. I have to be honest. Boxing was in a really bad state maybe even 3 years ago, 4 years ago. But now we are back. It's good. It's better than it's ever been, in my opinion. I hate to hear things like Tank talking about retirement at this stage. When you got guys like Bud still fighting and showing that you can still be at the top of your reign at 37, 36 years old. So Tank saying he gonna retire at 30, I think it's a load of weak ass shit. But at the end of the day, it's a lot of weak shit going on in today's day, man. You got Edgar Berlanga. You know what I'm saying? You got a man that's been calling you out in your division for a while now, and you keep avoiding the call out. You know what I'm saying? He posted on Twitter when Munguia got knocked out, you effed up the bag, man. Nah. Caleb Plant replied immediately, nah, he just made shit less complicated. Exactly, man. Let's get this Caleb Plant Edgar Berlanga fight rolling. Let's make this fight in New York. You know what I'm saying? Because I know one thing, Edgar Berlanga might be from New York, but I'll be at that fight and I'm gonna be cheering for Caleb Plant. You know what I'm saying? So that's a fight they need to make. I don't think they'll make that fight in New York. I think they'll make that fight in Vegas, though. That's really that, man. You know what I'm saying? Open boxing talks, man. What y'all want to talk about? Got open boxing talks, man. We can talk about anything. We can talk about Gervonta. Oh, shit. Hold on real quick. Open boxing talks, man. Talk about anything, man. I'm excited, man, to see what's in store, man. There's a lot. Like I said, you got the Morrell Benavidez. You got Tank fighting soon. You know what I'm saying? I can't wait to hear what's gonna happen with Jerron coming forward. You know what I'm saying? What's gonna happen with Teofimo? He's been doing a lot of call outs. Who's Bud gonna fight next? There's a lot of questions that we need to find out in the upcoming days. And I'm sure in 2025 we're gonna have some big announcements. And we're gonna know exactly who's fighting who. You know what I'm saying? And that's really what I feel, man. I'm most excited to know who Bud's gonna fight next. Is he gonna get the Canelo opportunity? Is he not gonna get the Canelo opportunity? We just don't know. We just don't know, man. But That's one thing we got to find out. Does Canelo really want that fight? You know what I'm saying? Canelo might go after Mbili. No one's talking about Mbili. So there's a lot of options out there for a lot of different fighters. And man, we're gonna see what's gonna happen in the next upcoming days, man. But I'm gonna get up out of here, man. I'm tired. I'm about to go to bed early, get some good sleep, like I never do. And I'm gonna be back up here tomorrow morning. All right, y'all. I'm gone. Peace.